Mom, I feel like a stranger in my own family. Violet's voice cracks through the phone, shattering the silence of our kitchen. My heart plummets. Sweetheart, what happened?
Dad.
He's not here. Some woman named Maya told me to leave. She was so mean, Mom. I gripped the counter, knuckles white. Where are you now? At the hotel across the street. Mom, can I come home? Of course, baby. I'll book you the first flight back. Just stay put, okay? I hang up, fury rising like bile in my throat. My name is Lena, and I've just discovered my husband's betrayal in the worst possible way through our 11-year-old daughter. I dial Elliot's number, pacing the kitchen floor. 1 ring.
2.
3. Hey, babe. Everything okay? His casual tone ignites my anger further.
No, Elliot.
Everything is not okay. Where the hell are you? At work, of course. What's going on? Really? Because Violet just called me in tears from a hotel in Seattle. Apparently, some woman named Maya sent her away from your apartment. Care to explain? Silence stretches between us, heavy with unspoken truths. Lena, I can explain dash. Save it, I snap. I'm bringing our daughter home. We'll discuss this when you decide to remember you have a family. I hang up before he can respond, hands shaking as I book Violet's return flight. As I finish, my phone buzzes with a text from Clara, my mother-in-law. Heard from Elliot. This wouldn't have happened if you'd moved to Seattle with him. Families should stick together. I resist the urge to hurl my phone across the room. Instead, I type a terse reply. You're right, Clara. Families should stick together. Shame your son didn't get the memo. Blocking her number feels like a small victory. I take a deep breath, trying to center myself before calling Violet back. She answers on the first ring. Mom, hey, sweetie. I've booked your flight home for tomorrow morning. The hotel has your reservation for tonight, okay? Okay, she says, her voice small. Mom, why didn't Dad want to see me? My heart breaks all over again. Oh, honey, your dad loves you very much. He's just made some mistakes. We'll figure this out together, I promise. After reassuring Violet and making sure she's settled, I end the call and sink into a kitchen chair. The house feels too big, too empty. Photos of our once happy family mock me from every wall. My phone buzzes again. A text from my best friend, Sarah. Hey girl. Saw Elliot tagged in some pics with a woman named Maya. Thought you should know. Call me if you need anything. I click the link with trembling fingers. There, in full color, is my husband with his arms around a statuesque brunette. They're laughing, carefree, while our daughter cries in a hotel room across the street. Something snaps inside me. The fear and uncertainty of the past few months crystallize into a cold, hard resolve. Elliot thinks he can have it all, a family at home and a mistress in Seattle. He's about to learn how wrong he is. I stand up, a plan already forming. First stop, Clara's house. It's time she learned exactly what kind of man her precious son has become. And then, well, Elliot and his little friend Maya are in for one hell of a surprise. As I grab my keys and head for the door, I catch a glimpse of myself in the hallway mirror. The woman staring back at me isn't the same one who sent her daughter off to visit her father this morning. This woman's eyes blaze with determination. Watch out, Elliot. Your comfortable little world is about to come crashing down. I pace the living room, phone clutched in my hand, waiting for Elliot to call back. When it finally rings, I answer on the first buzz. Lena, I can explain everything. Elliot starts, his voice strained. Oh, I'm sure you can. I spit back. Start with why our daughter was turned away by some woman at your apartment. It's not what you think. Maya's just a colleague dash. A colleague who answers your door and sends away your child? Try again, Elliot. He sighs heavily. Look, things have been crazy at work. I completely forgot Violet was coming. Maya was just dropping off some files dash. At 8 p.m. on a Saturday? I interrupt, my voice dripping with sarcasm. We had a deadline, he insists. I'm sorry about the mix-up with Violet. I'll make it up to her, I promise. I laugh bitterly. You're sorry about the mix-up? How about being sorry for lying to your family? Lena, please. You're blowing this out of proportion. I love you and Violet. You know that. His words, once comforting, now feel hollow. I'm about to respond when my phone beeps with an incoming call. Clara. Your mother's calling, I tell Elliot. I'm sure she can't wait to tell me how this is all my fault. I switch calls before he can respond. Hello, Clara. Lena, I just spoke with Elliot, she starts, her tone accusatory. How could you let this happen? I grip the phone tighter. Excuse me? If you had moved to Seattle with Elliot like I suggested, none of this would have happened. Family should stick together. You're right, Clara, I say, struggling to keep my voice level. Family should stick together. Maybe you should remind your son of that. Don't you dare blame Elliot, she snaps. He's working hard to provide for you and Violet. The least you could do is support him. Support him? I echo incredulously. By letting him live a double life in Seattle while Violet and I sit at home waiting? You're being ridiculous, Clara scoffs. Elliot would never dash. Never what, Clara?
Cheat? Lie?
Because from where I'm standing, that's exactly what he's doing. There's a pause on the other end of the line. When Clara speaks again, her voice is ice cold. You need to think very carefully about your next move, Lena. Don't do anything rash that you'll regret. The line goes dead. I stare at the phone, fury and frustration boiling inside me. How dare they? How dare Elliot lie to my face? And how dare Clara defend him? I sink onto the couch, my mind racing. I need answers, real ones, not the half-truths and excuses Elliot's been feeding me. And I know just where to start. I pull up my laptop and open Facebook, searching for Maya's profile. It doesn't take long to find her. She's not exactly hiding. My stomach churns as I scroll through photo after photo of her and Elliot together. Dinners, hikes, even a weekend trip to Vancouver. All while he told me he was working late or away on business. The final straw is a picture from just last week. Maya and Elliot, arms around each other, grinning at the camera. The caption reads, "Home sweet home with my love." Something inside me snaps. I've been a fool, believing Elliot's lies, making excuses for his absences. No more. I pick up my phone and dial Sarah's number. She answers on the second ring. Hey, girl. You okay? I've been worried since I sent that text. I need your help, I say, my voice steadier than I feel. I'm going to Seattle. What? Lena, are you sure that's a good idea? No, I admit. But I need to see for myself. I need proof. Sarah is quiet for a moment. Okay, she finally says. What do you need from me? Can you watch Violet when she gets back tomorrow? I don't want her involved in this mess any more than she already is. Of course. And Lena? Be careful. I end the call and start packing a bag. Elliot thinks he can have it all, a family at home and a mistress in Seattle. He's about to learn how wrong he is. As I zip up my suitcase, a plan begins to form. It's time to show Elliot, Maya, and Clara exactly who they're dealing with. They want a family drama? I'll give them one they'll never forget. The Seattle skyline looms before me as I step out of the taxi. My heart races, a mix of anger and anticipation coursing through my veins. I'm here for answers, and I won't leave without them. I check into a hotel near Elliot's apartment, dropping off my bag before heading out. It's early evening, and the streets are alive with people heading home from work. I wonder if Elliot is among them, oblivious to the storm about to hit. As I round the corner to his street, my phone buzzes. It's a text from Sarah. Violet's safe with me. How are you holding up? I type back quickly. I'm okay, about to do some recon. We'll update you later. Taking a deep breath, I approach Elliot's building. It's sleek and modern, nothing like our cozy home back in Portland. I spot a woman leaving and quickly catch the door before it closes. Inside, I scan the directory, finding Elliot's name next to apartment 7B. My finger hovers over the buzzer. What if he's there? What if Maya answers? I shake off the doubt.
I've come too far to back down now.
Before I can press it, the elevator dings. I turn, and there she is, Maya, in the flesh. She's even more beautiful than in the photos, and my stomach twists with a mixture of jealousy and rage. She doesn't notice me as she checks her mailbox, humming softly. I clear my throat. Excuse me, are you Maya? She looks up, startled. Yes, can I help you? I force a smile. I'm an old friend of Elliot's. I was in town and thought I'd surprise him. Is he home? Maya's face lights up. Oh, he's still at work, but he should be home soon. Why don't you come up and wait? I'm sure he'd love to see you. The irony of her invitation isn't lost on me. I nod, following her into the elevator. As we ride up, Maya chatters away. So, how do you know Elliot? We go way back, I say vaguely. How long have you two been together? Almost a year now, she beams. It's been wonderful. Elliot's such an amazing man. My heart sinks.
A year.
He's been living this double life for a year. We enter the apartment, and I'm immediately struck by how lived in it feels. Photos of Maya and Elliot cover the walls, their life together on full display. There's no trace of Violet or me anywhere. Maya offers me a drink, which I decline. As she busies herself in the kitchen, I wander the living room, taking in every detail. On the coffee table, I spot a framed photo of Maya and Elliot at what looks like a company party. The caption reads, Elliot Johnson and Maya Chen, Employee of the Year Awards. That was such a great night, Maya says, coming up behind me. Elliot's been doing amazing work at the firm. They're talking about making him partner soon. I turn to her, unable to contain myself any longer. And what about his family? Has he told you about them? Maya's smile falters. Family? I don't understand. His wife, Lena? His daughter, Violet? Ring any bells? The color drains from Maya's face. Wife? Daughter? No, that's impossible. Elliot's divorced. He told me. He lied, I say, my voice breaking. To both of us. Maya stumbles back, collapsing onto the couch. Who are you? She whispers. I'm Lena, Elliot's wife. The silence that follows is deafening. Maya stares at me, shock and disbelief etched across her face. Then, slowly, understanding dawns in her eyes. The little girl, she murmurs. Last weekend. She called him Dad.
I NOD, tilstrekning to spill.
That was Violet, our daughter. Maya covers her face with her hands, her shoulders shaking. I'm so sorry, she sobs. I had no idea. He told me, God, he told me so many lies. As I watch her break down, my anger shifts. Maya isn't the enemy here. She's another victim of Elliot's deceit. I sit beside her, placing a hand on her shoulder. We've both been played, I say softly. She looks up at me, mascara streaking her cheeks. What do we do now? Before I can answer, we hear a key in the lock. The door swings open, and there stands Elliot, briefcase in hand, frozen in shock as he takes in the scene before him. Lena, he gasps. What are you doing here? I stand, squaring my shoulders. Hello, Elliot. I think it's time we all had a talk, don't you? The drive to Clara's house feels interminable. My hands grip the steering wheel, knuckles white, as I rehearse what I'll say. How do you tell a mother her son is a lying, cheating bastard? I pull into Clara's driveway, steeling myself for the confrontation ahead. Before I can even knock, the door swings open. Well, look who finally decided to grace us with her presence, Clara says, her voice dripping with sarcasm. I bite back a retort. We need to talk, Clara. It's about Elliot. She ushers me inside, her face a mask of concern. What's happened? Is he all right? Physically?
He's fine.
Morally? That's another story. Clara's eyes narrow. What are you implying, Lena? I take a deep breath. Elliot's been lying to us. He's living with another woman in Seattle. Her name is Maya. The color drains from Clara's face. For a moment, I think she might faint. Then her expression hardens. That's ridiculous. Elliot would never dash. I saw it with my own eyes, Clara. I was in Seattle. I met Maya. Clara sinks into an armchair, shaking her head. There must be some mistake. Some misunderstanding. I pull out my phone, bringing up the photos I'd saved from Maya's social media. Look, I say, handing it to her. This is no misunderstanding. Clara scrolls through the images, her hands trembling. I watch as denial gives way to shock, then to anger. That bastard, she whispers. How could he do this? To me? To Violet? I say, my voice cracking. I've been asking myself the same question. Clara looks up at me, tears in her eyes. Lena, I'm so sorry. I had no idea. Her apology catches me off guard. I'd expected more resistance, more denial. But the pain in her eyes is genuine. I should have seen it, she continues. All those late nights, the business trips. I defended him, made excuses for him. God, I even blamed you. We were both blind, I say softly. He fooled us all. Clara stands suddenly, pacing the room. We can't let him get away with this. He needs to face consequences. I nod, a plan already forming. I agree.
But we need to be smart about this.
Elliot's always been good at talking his way out of trouble. What did you have in mind? Clara asks, a glint of determination in her eye. A family gathering, I say. Here at your house. We'll invite Elliot and Maya under the guise of reconciliation. Then we expose him in front of everyone. Clara considers this for a moment. It's risky. He might not come if he suspects anything. That's where you come in, I explain. He'll listen to you. Tell him you want to help patch things up between us. Make it seem like you're on his side. A slow smile spreads across Clara's face. I always said you were clever, Lena. All right, I'm in. We spend the next hour planning, ironing out details. As I prepare to leave, Clara catches my arm. Lena, wait. I owe you an apology. For years, I've been hard on you, critical of how you've handled things with Elliot and Violet. I was wrong. I'm stunned by her admission. Thank you, Clara. That means a lot. She squeezes my hand. We're family, and family sticks together, especially when one of our own betrays us. As I drive home, I feel a weight lift from my shoulders. I'd come to Clara's house expecting a fight, but I'm leaving with an ally. For the first time since this nightmare began, I feel a glimmer of hope. My phone buzzes with a text from Sarah. Violet's asking when you'll be back. Everything okay? I type back. On my way. Things are looking up. I'll explain everything soon. I smile to myself. Elliot thinks he's won, that he can have his cake and eat it too. But he's about to learn a hard lesson. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, especially when that woman has her mother-in-law on her side. The stage is set. Now, it's time to bring down the curtain on Elliot's little charade. And I can't wait for the final act. The kitchen table is covered in notes and lists as Clara and I finalize our plan. We've been at it for hours, meticulously crafting every detail of the upcoming family gathering. Are you sure about this, Lena? Clara asks, her voice tinged with concern. Once we set this in motion, there's no going back. I meet her gaze unwavering. I've never been more certain of anything in my life. Elliot needs to face the consequences of his actions. Clara nods, a mix of sadness and determination in her eyes. All right then, I'll make the call. As she dials Elliot's number, I feel my heart racing. This is it.
The point of no return.
Elliot? It's Mom, Clara says, her voice warm and inviting. I've been thinking, we need to have a family gathering. It's been too long since we've all been together. I watch as she masterfully plays her part, weaving a tale of reconciliation and family bonds. It's almost scary how convincing she is. Yes, of course, Lena and Violet will be there, she continues, shooting me a knowing look. It'll be good for all of us to clear the air, don't you think? And why don't you bring Maya? It's time we all got to know her better. My breath catches in my throat. Will you take the bait? Clara's face breaks into a smile. Wonderful. We'll see you both next Saturday then. I can't wait. As she hangs up, we exchange a triumphant look. Phase 1, complete. Now for the guest list, I say, pulling out my phone. We need the right mix of people. Family, close friends, maybe even a few of Elliot's colleagues. Clara raises an eyebrow. Colleagues? Isn't that risky? It's crucial, I explain. We're not just exposing his personal betrayal, but his professional lies too. He's been using work as an excuse for his absences. His coworkers should know the truth. We spend the next hour carefully selecting attendees, each chosen for maximum impact. By the time we're done, the guest list reads like a who's who of Elliot's life. What about Violet? Clara asks softly. Are you sure you want her there for this? I pause, considering. The thought of Violet witnessing the confrontation makes my stomach churn. But keeping her in the dark feels wrong too. She deserves to know the truth. I say finally. But we'll have Sarah take her out just before the big reveal. She doesn't need to see the ugly details. Clara squeezes my hand. You're a good mother, Lena. Violet's lucky to have you. As evening falls, we put the finishing touches on our plan. Every detail is accounted for, from the seating arrangement to the exact moment of revelation. There's just one more thing, Clara says, disappearing into her study. She returns with a small box, which she hands to me. Inside is a USB drive. What's this? I ask. Insurance, she replies grimly. I've been doing some digging of my own. That drive contains financial records, emails, hotel receipts. Everything we need to prove Elliot's deception beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Ist sehr her, stunt.
Clara, I don't know what to say. She smiles sadly. You don't need to say anything. We're family, remember? And family protects its own. As I drive home, the weight of the USB drive heavy in my pocket, I feel a mix of emotions swirling inside me. Anger, sadness, but also a fierce determination. Elliot thought he could play us all for fools. He's about to learn how wrong he was. I pull into my driveway, spotting Violet through the window. She's laughing at something Sarah said, her face carefree and innocent. For a moment, I hesitate. Am I doing the right thing? But then I remember the pain in her voice when she called from Seattle, the confusion and hurt in her eyes every time Elliot cancels plans.
No, this isn't just about me.
It's about protecting my daughter, showing her that love shouldn't mean sacrifice and lies. I take a deep breath and head inside. The stage is set, the players are in place. In 1 week, Elliot's carefully constructed house of cards will come tumbling down, and I'll be there to watch it fall. Clara's house buzzes with nervous energy as guests arrive for the family gathering. I stand by the window, watching cars pull up, my heart pounding with each new arrival. Sarah squeezes my hand reassuringly before leading Violet out for their special girls' day. My daughter's excited chatter fades, leaving me alone with my thoughts and the weight of what's to come. They're here, Clara whispers, appearing at my side. I turn to see Elliot's car pulling into the driveway, Maya in the passenger seat. My stomach churns at the sight of them together, all smiles and casual intimacy. Ready? Clara asks, her voice steady despite the tremor in her hands. I nod, steeling myself. As I'll ever be. We move to greet them at the door, our faces masks of welcoming smiles. Elliot hugs his mother, then turns to me with an awkward half-embrace. Lena, you remember Maya? He says, gesturing to the woman beside him. I extend my hand, noting the flicker of confusion in Maya's eyes. Of course. Welcome, Maya. So glad you could join us. As we lead them into the living room, I catch Elliot's puzzled glance at the gathered crowd. Colleagues mingle with family friends, creating an atmosphere thick with anticipation. Quite a turnout, Mom, Elliot remarks, his casual tone belied by the tension in his shoulders. Clara smiles tightly. Well, it has been so long since we've all been together. I thought it was time to catch up properly. The next hour passes in a blur of small talk and forced pleasantries. I watch Elliot and Maya, noting their subtle exchanges, the way they unconsciously lean towards each other. It's like watching actors in a play, completely unaware that the script is about to change dramatically. Finally, Clara calls for everyone's attention, raising her glass in a toast. To family, she says, her eyes meeting mine. And to truth. That's my cue. I stand, my legs trembling slightly as I move to the center of the room. I'd like to say something if I may. I begin, my voice stronger than I feel. Elliot shifts uncomfortably, but Maya smiles encouragingly, oblivious to what's coming. For the past year, I've been living a lie. I continue, my gaze sweeping the room before landing on Elliot. We all have, thanks to the man I thought was my faithful husband. A collective gasp ripples through the crowd. Elliot's face drains of color as he realizes what's happening. Lena, what are you doing? He hisses, but I press on. Elliot has been leading a double life, I announce, my voice gaining strength. While claiming to be working long hours in Seattle, he's actually been living with another woman. A woman who had no idea he had a wife and daughter waiting at home. All eyes turn to Maya, who looks stricken.
What?
No, that's not. Elliot. Elliot stands, his hands raised placatingly. Now, wait a minute. This is all a misunderstanding dash. Is it? Clara interjects, her voice cold. She produces the USB drive, connecting it to the TV. Perhaps these will clear things up. Images flood the screen. Elliot and Maya at various events, financial records showing joint purchases, emails discussing their life together. With each new revelation, Elliot's protests grow weaker. Maya stumbles back, tears streaming down her face. You're married? You have a child? How could you? Maya, please, I can explain Elliot starts, but she cuts him off with a slap that echoes through the suddenly silent room. Don't you dare, she snarls, pushing past him and fleeing the house. Elliot turns to me, his face a mix of anger and desperation. Are you happy now? You've ruined everything. I meet his gaze steadily.
No, Elliot.
You did that all on your own. The room erupts into chaos as guests react to the unfolding drama. Some console Maya outside, others confront Elliot with questions and accusations. Through it all, I stand firm, supported by Clara's unwavering presence. As Elliot's carefully constructed world crumbles around him, I feel a weight lift from my shoulders. The truth is out, the lies exposed. It's painful and messy, but it's real. And for the first time in months, I can breathe freely. The confrontation I've dreaded and planned for is here, raw and unfiltered. As I watch Elliot's facade crumble, I know there's no going back. But I'm ready for whatever comes next. Because now, finally, we're dealing with the truth. The days following the confrontation pass in a blur of phone calls, hushed conversations, and tearful explanations. I shield Violet from the worst of it, but she's perceptive enough to know something has fundamentally changed. Is Dad coming home? She asks one night, her small voice piercing the darkness of her bedroom. I sit on the edge of her bed, stroking her hair.
No, sweetheart.
Dad made some choices that mean he can't be with us right now. She nods, her eyes all over again. Yes, partly. But it's complicated, Violet. The most important thing is that I love you, and I'm here for you. Always. As Violet drifts off to sleep, I check my phone. Another missed call from Elliot. I delete it without listening to the voicemail. The next morning, Clara calls. Have you seen the news? I turn on the TV, and there it is, Elliot's face plastered across the screen. The headline reads, Local businessman caught in double life scandal. Oh my God, I whisper. It gets worse, Clara says grimly. Keep watching. The news anchor continues. Sources close to Johnson's firm reveal that he's been using company resources to fund his secret life in Seattle. An internal investigation is underway, and Johnson has been placed on indefinite leave. I sink onto the couch, stunned. I wanted Elliot to face consequences, but this is beyond anything I imagined. My phone buzzes with a text from Sarah. Maya's gone public. Check her Instagram. With trembling fingers, I pull up Maya's profile. Her latest post is a long, raw confession. She details how Elliot deceived her, how she had no idea about his family. The comments are a mix of sympathy and judgment, with many calling for Elliot's head. As the day progresses, the fallout intensifies. Elliot's colleagues distance themselves. Old friends express their shock and disappointment. Even his golf buddies, once so quick to cover for him, now publicly denounce his actions. By evening, I'm emotionally exhausted. That's when the doorbell rings. It's Maya. She stands on my porch, looking small and broken. I'm so sorry, she says, her voice barely above a whisper. I didn't know. I swear I didn't know. For a moment, I consider slamming the door in her face. But the pain in her eyes mirrors my own, and I find myself inviting her in. We sit in the kitchen, two women united by betrayal, sipping tea and sharing stories. Maya tells me about her whirlwind romance with Elliot, how he painted himself as a lonely divorce, how she fell for his lies hook, line, and sinker. I feel so stupid, she says, wiping away tears. I reach across the table, taking her hand. You're not stupid, Maya. Elliot is a master manipulator. We both fell for it. As Maya leaves, we share a hug, an unexpected moment of solidarity in the chaos. The next day brings more upheaval. Elliot's firm announces his termination, citing gross misconduct. His carefully cultivated professional reputation lies in tatters. That afternoon, I receive a call from an unknown number. It's Elliot, his voice ragged and desperate. Lena, please. I've lost everything. My job, my friends, my reputation. I need you. I need our family. I close my eyes, steadying myself against the wave of emotions his plea evokes. You should have thought of that before, Elliot. You made your choices. Now you have to live with them. But what about Violet? She needs her father. She needs stability and honesty, I counter. Two things you've proven incapable of providing. As I hang up, I feel a strange mix of sadness and relief. Elliot's world has crumbled, just as I wanted. But the victory feels hollow, tainted by the pain it's caused Violet. That night, as I tuck Violet into bed, she asks, Mom, are we going to be okay? I smile, pulling her close. Yes, sweetheart. We're going to be more than okay. We're going to be strong and brave and honest with each other. Always. As I turn out the light, I realize that this is the real victory, not Elliot's downfall, but the chance to build something new and true with my daughter. The reckoning is over. Now it's time to look forward. The moving truck rumbles away, leaving Violet and me standing in front of our new home. It's smaller than our old house, but brighter somehow, filled with possibility. What do you think, sweetie? I ask, squeezing Violet's hand. She looks up at me, a tentative smile on her face. It's different, but I like it. As we walk through the rooms, unpacking boxes and arranging furniture, I feel a weight lifting from my shoulders. This space is ours, untainted by lies and betrayal. Clara arrives in the afternoon, arms laden with groceries and a housewarming gift. I thought you could use some help, she says, pulling me into a warm embrace. We work together, the three of us, turning the empty house into a home. Violet's laughter echoes through the rooms as she and Clara debate the perfect spot for her stuffed animals. It's a sound I haven't heard in far too long. That evening, as Clara prepares to leave, she pulls me aside. Lena, I want you to know how proud I am of you. You've shown incredible strength through all of this. Tears prick my eyes. Thank you, Clara. I couldn't have done it without you. She cups my face in her hands. Your family, dear. Always remember that. The next few weeks fly by in a whirlwind of new routines and adjustments. Violet starts at her new school, making friends with an ease that amazes me. I throw myself into job hunting, determined to build a stable future for us. It's not all smooth sailing. There are nights when Violet cries for her father, and days when the weight of single parenthood feels overwhelming. But we persevere, growing stronger with each challenge we overcome. One sunny afternoon, as I'm scrolling through job listings, my phone rings. It's an art gallery I'd interviewed with last week.
Lena?
This is Margot from the Riverside Gallery. We'd like to offer you the position of assistant curator. My heart soars. It's not just a job, it's a chance to reconnect with my passion for art, a part of myself I'd set aside years ago. That evening, Violet and I celebrate with a picnic in our small backyard. As we lie on the blanket, looking up at the stars, Violet turns to me.
Mom?
Are you happy? I consider her question carefully. I am, sweetheart. It's been a tough journey, but I'm happy. Are you? She nods, snuggling closer.
Yeah.
I miss Dad sometimes, but I like our new life. I hold her tight, marveling at her resilience. We've both grown so much in these past months. The next day, as I'm preparing for my first day at the gallery, I receive a text from Maya. Starting my new job today, too. Thank you for everything. Wishing you and Violet all the best. I smile, realizing that our paths have diverged, but we're both moving forward. I send back a simple good luck before turning my phone off. As I drop Violet off at school, she hugs me tightly. I'm proud of you, Mom, she whispers. Those 5 words fill me with a warmth that lingers as I walk into the gallery, ready to start this new chapter of our lives. That evening, I stand in our living room, taking in the space we've created. Photos of Violet and me cover the walls, along with her artwork and mementos from our fresh start. There's no trace of Elliot here, no shadows of our past life. I think back to that fateful phone call from Violet in Seattle, the moment that set this all in motion. The pain and betrayal are still there, a dull ache in my chest. But it's overshadowed by pride in my daughter's strength, in the support of true family like Clara, in my own resilience. We've weathered the storm, Violet and I. We've faced betrayal, confronted lies, and come out stronger on the other side. Our new home isn't just a place to live, it's a testament to our journey, a symbol of the life we're building together. As I turn off the lights and head to bed, I feel a sense of peace wash over me. The road ahead may not be easy, but we're ready for whatever comes our way. Because now we know the truth of who we are and what we're capable of. This isn't just a new chapter. It's a whole new story, written on our own terms. And I can't wait to see where it takes us.